It is a shocking story. A North Texas doctor accused of tampering with IV bags that have been linked to at least one death. Dr. Raynaldo Ortiz is now charged, facing up to life in prison.
Our Tanya Iser has been following this story, and she's up early with us with a preview of her special investigative report. And Tanya, you were able to speak with Dr. Ortiz. What did he have to say about the charges against him?
That's right. We spent more than a half an hour on the phone with Dr. Ortiz. We had sent him a letter and he responded to it. And he says he's innocent. He says he's not guilty and that his claim is that he's been set up. And he has some interesting thoughts on why that is. Be interesting to see how this all plays out in court. But it was a very interesting conversation with the doctor and what he says about the evidence that the prosecutors have put out so far against him.
Yeah, so what kind of evidence are we talking about they have against him?
Well, there are two key videos. These two key videos that they put out, these are videos that show him putting IV bags in a warmer. And what prosecutors say is that the hospital officials said that a doctor should not be placing IV bags in these warmers, that typically this would have been other staff members that would stock these refrigerators, these warmers rather, and that right after these IV bags were put in these warmers that things would go wrong with surgeries. And so he's been charged in connection with 4 surgeries that occurred in August where they have video surveillance. He's also been charged in the death of another doctor, a Dallas anesthesiologist who back in June took an IV bag home and had administered it to herself because she was sick.
So we're talking about the death, you talk about the 4 surgeries. Are there other patients affected as well?
There was a total of 11 patient surgeries over the course between May and August. That is started, according to the hospital, the incidents began after they began an investigation of him related to a surgery. The prosecutors alleged that he told another doctor that the hospital was that the outpatient surgery center was trying to crucify him. But again, there's a lot of questions here how they're going to be able to connect a specific IV bag that they're going to claim is tampered with that then being actually used in a surgery. So right now what we see of the evidence, it's very circumstantial, and again the doctor says he's innocent, so we'll be waiting to see what happens when this goes to trial.
Well, do we know anything as far as once the hospital figured out, hey, something's going on here, and when they stopped it, like what the timeline looked like?
Well, that's interesting because a lot of the experts we talked to said it just took too long. So the incidents begin in May, and they don't suspend surgery operations until August. I mean, that's a tremendous amount of time. You have 11 incidents with 11 surgeries that have gone on. And so it speaks to something needs to happen with risk management, that this could have been found earlier. And obviously other surgery centers and hospitals need to take note and have a way that somehow, if there's something unusual happening, that someone takes notice. It should not have taken this long for it to be found.
Boy,